Well, the liberal puke, Alex from San Francisco, he's tired of all this Reagan stuff. Now, we should keep talking about Obama every day, day in and out, day out, 24/7. Obama should be our world. You know, it's funny, Rush and I were instant messaging back and forth earlier this morning, and I said, it is so depressing talking about Obama because everything he does is so damn depressing. I'll give you an example. Here we are on the Drudge Report, the homepage. Gallup. Unemployment is actually 9.9%, underemployment at 19.2%. You can't believe the government's figures. Or you flunk math. You create 36,000 new jobs and unemployment drops to 9%. Nobody believes that. Isn't it funny also that the numbers that this administration spits out are always curious, troublesome? That's because the left is playing with the bureaucracy, and the bureaucracy is being politicized. So now we have Gallup, a private entity that does polling through its scientific models, or its statistical models, I should say, telling us unemployment is basically 10%, underemployment is basically over 19%. Underemployment meaning people dropping out, people taking part-time work, or people who want full-time jobs, who haven't dropped out, who can't find jobs. This is 2 years after Obama's been president, the Democrats ran Congress, they massively spent the society into the equivalent of bankruptcy, and their propagandists in the media are still out there talking about the recovery that's been going on for a year and a half. You got to be out of your mind with this kind of propaganda. I feel like we live in the third world with this crap. Labor force participation plunges to a 26-year low. Do you know what that means? That's why we have record numbers of people on food stamps. 43.6 million. That's why we have record numbers of people on unemployment insurance. Extending for a record amount of time. That is why we have people without health care. Not because of insurance companies. They don't have jobs. And that's why people are losing their homes. I mean, this socialism doesn't work. It's destructive. It's a disaster. And this crowd comes into office and intentionally uses a recession to quote-unquote transform our society. Nobody used to talk about transforming our society. The word transformation came into office with this president. Fuel prices are starting to go up. Have you noticed? Of course. There are blackouts and brownouts all over this country. And not just due to the weather. Mr. Producer, get those two cuts back, will you, where he's talking about coal and electricity, will you? Let me know when you have them ready. We have as a designed policy of this administration to choke off our energy supplies. Over there at the Interior Department, the Assistant Secretary for Widgets and other crap, you know what he said? Just said it. We're not issuing permits for deep water drilling because none of the oil companies have demonstrated that they can do it safely enough. So we've known this all along. It's a de facto moratorium. They've been held in contempt by a federal judge, and they could care less. Meanwhile, day in, day out, Egypt, that's fine. It's an important story. We have a president that doesn't follow the law. Day four of the president defying the federal judge in Pensacola, Florida. Day 4. And it won't be covered at all. Yeah, let's talk more about Obama, right, Alex? Out there in La La Land? Yeah, we can do it. Underemployment, unemployment, people dropping out, 19.2%. That's Depression-era misery. Despite all the, if they took all this money and handed everybody a check, we'd be out of this already. But they don't want us out of this. They're using our tax dollars to grease the skids for their buddies, whether they're massive corporations, whether they're unions, whether they're individuals, whatever the hell. Oh, and here's some good news. The head of the TSA, well, he's announced that the TSA, for certain purposes, can unionize. New York Slimes, seeking to end a debate that has brewed for nearly a decade. You want to hear more Obama? This is Obama. The director of the Transportation Security Administration announced today that a union would be allowed to bargain over working conditions on behalf of the nation's 45,000 airport security officers. This president and his hacks, who are laced throughout the administration, are moving as fast as they can to put their fingerprints all over this government. We, the consumer, should be represented by a union when we go to these damn airports. They're on the move, baby. Oh, and Shell has decided they're not going to drill this year in Alaska at the Beaufort Sea. They have exploratory wells there, but they're not going to drill. You know why? Because the Interior Department's blocking them, and they've had enough. They said they'll take another look next year. They've already poured several billions of dollars, $3 billion in exploration since 2005. They can't drill a damn well and use it. But don't worry, Obama at his State of the Union address said the issue is raising taxes on the oil companies. That's how we'll get more money. More money for what? Let them drill, for God's sakes. Let the coal companies mine, for God's sakes. We need electricity. We need natural gas. We need crude oil. Those of you without jobs, or those of you in fear of losing your jobs, this is all connected. That's how a major economy works. You choke off energy supplies, you kill jobs. You increase taxes, you kill jobs. You unleash all these regulations, you kill jobs. But don't worry, if you're a public employee in the bureaucracy, you're going to get unions, you're going to get pensions, you're going to get health care, you're going to get tenure, you're going to have civil service protection. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can touch you. In the private sector, different story. Yes, let's talk about Obama. More Obama, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that'll bring you down, won't it? And look at this Drudge Report. The Daily Telegraph, England, WikiLeaks cables. The United States secretly agreed to give the Russians sensitive information on Britain's nuclear deterrent to persuade them to sign a key treaty, the Daily Telegraph can disclose. HMS Vanguard is Britain's lead Trident armed submarine. The U.S., under a nuclear deal, has agreed to give the Kremlin the serial numbers of the missiles it gives to Britain. And Britain didn't improve. Yeah, let's keep talking about that. I can't wait. You know, one day Obama won't be president. He'll be retired. They'll have a library there. The Obama Library. Well, the special wing, there'll be a special wing there reaching out to Muslims only with the Cairo speech. I even think they'll have his long-form birth certificate there, you know, maybe framed, hanging on the wall. There it is, finally, there it is. Anyway, right next to Harry Reid. Mr. Producer, have we found Harry Reid's long-form birth certificate yet? Still looking. We need a searchlight and searchlight to find it. Oh, yeah, we'll have the Obama Museum. It'll be there. All the great Obama achievements. Well, we can't have that because that'd be a telephone booth. Well, what would we have in the Obama Museum? I'm starting to think there can't be an Obama Museum. There are no highlights in this administration. None domestically, none in foreign policy, nothing. Well, maybe we can have, like, a basketball court, because I know he loves playing basketball. Maybe it can also be built in a country club with a golf course. He likes to play golf. Maybe there'll be a little concert section where all the Hollywood types can show up, because I know he likes to have concerts over there at the White House. Cafeteria. They'll serve cheeseburgers. They'll have a special smoking section there, because we know he likes to smoke. But then what? What of substance will we have in the Obama Library? Nothing. Nothing of substance. Let's see if there's anything else on the Obama front. Yes, look at this. Washington Compost, amid Arab protests, U.S. influence has waned. Wall Street Journal, turmoil heartens U.S. foes. Wall Street Journal again, U.S. pressure on Mubarak opens a rift with Arab allies. Yes, the Jordanians, the Bahrainians, Saudis, all the rest. I don't know how we're ever going to cut a deal again in the Middle East. May I digress for a minute? I will not be voting for any more Bushes for president. Jeb Bush is being promoted because of his excellent school choice initiatives. I know they're excellent because the legal foundation I had, Landmark Legal Foundation, has been promoting them for decades. But that said, any man who wants to be president who smears law-abiding American citizens simply because they want the border secured and they don't believe in lawless immigration rules is not worthy of being president. if you're going to put down law-abiding American citizens the way his brother did, then he's not serious. So he'll never get my vote. I'm going to say another thing that's going to upset some people. Newt Gingrich supports ethanol. I read what the Wall Street Journal said. I read what he said in response, which I thought was inadequate. Newt Gingrich won't get my vote either. There, I said it. I know. I'm going to get all the emails and attacks. All the back channels. Don't waste your time. I'm not interested. It's like Chris Christie. Well, Mark, he's good on the unions, and he's good on the budget. He's a gun controller, an amnesty guy. He appoints a radical to a judgeship. He's out campaigning for rhinos, slobbering all over Barack Obama, who's throwing a state dinner for the Red Chinese, who obviously share our universal values. He's weak on cap and trade. The hell is that? That's Mike Castle. That man will never get my vote either. Well, let me put it to you this way. If it's between Obama and, say, an orange juice can, I'll never vote for Obama. What I'm talking about is in the Republican primary. Though there's more. I look at Romney, perfectly nice man, but as much as he tries, that Romney care sticks to him like glue. He can try and shake it off his record, but there's no shaking it. Mark, who do you support? I don't know yet. I see McCain announced that he's not going to be doing any endorsements. Oh, too bad. I've been sitting back waiting for John McCain to tell me who he'd support. You want to know why? Because I'll make damn sure I never vote for that person. We'll be right back. Let me put it this way. By the way, if you notice, I always tell you what I think, and it gets me in trouble a lot of times. If some of these candidates have taken positions in the past that are really bad, and they renounce them, then I can deal with that. But if they continue to promote them, then I can't. You know, when Reagan was governor, he was really, really skeptical about this whole abortion thing. It bothered him a lot. But he signed a bill which he thought was a bill that was essentially aimed at saving the life of women. And then he realized later the ruse aspects of the bill, that it was really a flat-out abortion bill. And he regretted it. And he said he did. And he did. And he spoke out against abortion, and when he became president, he appointed people to office and had certain policies in place that reflected his views. So, I mean, for instance, if Newt, who's a very nice guy, if Newt were to say, when I said that I believed that there must be a quote-unquote green conservatism, I was wrong and I don't believe that today, I would take him at his word. But he hasn't said that. We'll be right back. All right, let's see here. Let's sneak in a few more calls. Let us go to Michael, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, the great WABC. That is my home county, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, the 13th Congressional District, and it's gone to hell. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Mark. Thanks for taking my call.
And what town are you in exactly?
Well, right now I'm over in New Britain in Bucks County. I teach in Montgomery County.
Well, you better not tell me what school system. You may get in trouble. Well, Bucks County's beautiful, too.
It is. They both are, yeah.
How may I help you?
I'm originally from Monmouth County, New Jersey myself, which is also beautiful.
I know exactly where that is. I used to drive around there all the time and drive down to Atlantic City and Ventnor and Margate and all the rest of it.
Is that right?
Salem County. What's your hometown?
Lincroft, New Jersey.
Absolutely. I love all those little towns.
Beautiful, right? Colts Neck and Lincroft right there. Red Bank. But thanks for taking my call, really. I was calling to comment on the Time for Choosing speech that you were playing earlier in the night.
Right.
What I was thinking about that, because I first heard that speech back over the summer.
Yeah.
And when I heard it, I was thinking that it sounds like the ideas that he so effectively articulated in that speech were adopted a lot from the book Conscience of a Conservative by Barry Goldwater.
Well, here's the thing. Reagan at that point in his life was extremely well read on politics and philosophy. So there's no question he would have read Barry Goldwater's book, but he read a lot more. Frederick Bastiat, he had actually started reading Burke, Locke, the founders. So Reagan was really up on this stuff. But obviously he and Goldwater, at least much of their philosophy, was obviously shared. Thanks, Mike. Gotta run, brother.